A lot of the time when we first interact with people and ask them to come up with problems that they want to solve,
people's minds to accept our solution to the world's problems. The energy crisis here in the United States was exceptionally successful worldwide, and we expect similar success with our upcoming food shortage. Our labor leaders have made great progress by causing confusion and work stoppages in all areas of the world. Financially, the dollar is being devalued even faster than we could have hoped. Politically, the public has lost total confidence in any form of government. The threat of universal war is a daily possibility. As you know, we ourselves do not need to hold any visible office of leadership. As a matter of fact, it's better that we do not. We control the finances, news media, food, transportation, energy. We control everything. It is important that you, as world leaders, keep our program before your countrymen. With our World Bank and computer program operational, we now have the capacity to control the financial affairs of every human being on Earth by giving each person his own computer number. Anytime his number is used, we would know his financial situation at once. He could not buy situation at once. He could not buy or sell anything without his computer number. It will simplify their lifestyles tremendously. The end result will be a one-world monetary and government system that we alone will control. Yes.
What about the people who forget their number, or their cards are lost or stolen?
We've made provisions for that. By using this laser imprinter, we can painlessly and permanently affix the person's number to the back of his hand or his forehead if he so desires. The numbers would be easily read by this new ultraviolet scanning equipment. For the purposes of demonstration, I've had such a number imprinted on myself. Once this number is imprinted, it cannot be lost nor can it be changed. Now, are there any questions?
What about the individuals who refuse to have this number implantation?
We expect some minor resistance.
And now I'm going to sign the executive order.
they often name a solution.
It is now my honor to sign into law the USA Patriot Act of 2001.
The bill that's before me authorizing our defense spending for this year.
The hell they go?
It's got some cybersecurity provisions that are necessary. That's an increasing threat.
A little bit about the National Defense Authorization Act, also known as the NDAA. There is a new version which includes an amendment that would actually legalize the use of propaganda on the American public, according to Michael Hastings of BuzzFeed.
These are back doors, aren't they? Programming access.
I'm pleased to say that when it comes to the defense bill I'm about to sign into law, we've taken some important steps towards that goal.
How do they work? The code is hidden in tumblers.
The amendment was proposed by Mac Thornberry, a Republican from Texas, and by Adam Smith, a Democrat from Washington, and it passed in the House last week.
One position opens a lock. Another position opens one of these doors.
Now, this bill isn't perfect. This bill is an important step forward, but it's just a first step.
Are you a programmer?
It would basically nullify the Smith-Munt Act of 1948, which specifically forbids information and psychological operations aimed at influencing U.S. opinion.
What are you? I protect that which matters most.
There were a lot of people in this town who didn't think it was possible, who argued that the special interests were too entrenched and that Washington was simply too set in its ways.
Because they have a preset idea of the solution.
At the same time, we accelerated or increased weapons programs needed to confront real and growing threats.
Thornberry says the current law ties the hands of America's diplomatic officials, military, and others by inhibiting our ability to effectively communicate in a credible way.
And this bill also reduces waste and fraud in our contracting system, as well as our reliance on private contractors for jobs that federal employees have the expertise and the training to do.
What this basically means is they want to be able to use these, they're called information operations, to target not only foreign audiences, but also to target domestic audiences.
And hence, they never really have thought through to the problem to which that was a solution.
So with that, I'm going to sign this piece of legislation.
Start by writing down the problem. What is the problem that you're trying to solve?
This is you. A series of purchases, preferences, and quantifiable data points that we define as your personality. We monitor every social network.
Then we do the exercise of write down one solution to your problem. And then comes the hard part of the exercise that differentiates whether you've really just written down a problem or written down a solution.
We monitor every social network, internet logs.
Alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Cell phone usage. We utilize security, surveillance, and traffic cameras to analyze movements.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Which is write down 3 other solutions to your problem.
And the FBI confirming it's paying other social media companies in addition to the $3.5 million payment it made to Twitter in exchange for the companies complying with its requests.
Internet logs, instant and text messages.
So then I say, okay, now write down, other than the solution you've written down, write down option A.
In terms of this year, most forecasts call for the U.S. economy to continue to grow, but at a pretty subdued level. So growth of less than 1%, let's say.
It also means being able to precisely time their own payments to suppliers.
But we would tell you that a recession is almost as likely as very slow growth.
Also important to their customers is being able to instantly transfer funds from an account held at another institution to their account at Community Bank and vice versa, and then being able to access those funds immediately.
So that's a fact.
Well, there are many challenges that would face the central bank if one does decide to launch a CBDC.
And I think that is partly because of us having raised rates quite a bit.
And FedNow is the solution for them all.
But this is what it takes to get inflation down.
First, any citizen would be able to pull way too much money from the banks all at once if they decide to purchase CBDC.
We've had inflation at its highest level in 40 years.
This would trigger a run on the banks, which would in turn affect their ability to lend money, and it would also gravely affect interest rates.
To get inflation to come down, what we need is a period of slower growth so that the economy can cool off, so the labor market can cool off, so that wages can cool off, and so that's how inflation comes down. That's the only way we know to bring inflation down.
Besides, the risks that a CBDC carries are far too great for a central bank, as they are right in the target of hackers and cyber attacks.
Known associates, your friends, companions, emails received and sent.
Option B.
Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record the clients of the Raven Group, which include Pfizer.
Without objection.
Not just Pfizer, but Google as well. And in response to the Twitter files, we saw a statement come from the FBI where they said correspondence between the FBI and Twitter show nothing more than examples of our traditional, long-standing, and ongoing federal government and private sector engagements. your own client list that you advertise on your own website, which includes Google. Does it surprise you that at the Raven Group's website, Pfizer and Google are clients?
It does not surprise me, sir, no.
And option C.
The Soros-funded Open Society is one of the clients as well. Does that surprise you?
I consider the Trump administration a danger to the world, but I regard it as a purely temporary phenomenon.
We use this data to form personality profiles. We know who you are. We know who you are. We are everywhere.
Our rule of thumb is if you can't imagine at least 3 alternative solutions to your problem, you don't have a problem.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, all programmed options, sector searches, and downloaded points of data will lead to this central command.
You have formulated a solution as a problem. You're a computer. If you start from the formulation of your problem is your lack of your solution, you can never really be creative enough to start to dig down deep enough to get to where you can solve the problem you really have.
Mr. Secretary, we can't just stop intelligence gathering just because of what happened here.
No, we can't. All I know is we made a great many mistakes, and good people paid the ultimate price for them. And that's a debt we can't ever repay. But we can honor it